What's up everybody, welcome back to yet another video here from the cave. Today we are tying something big and nasty to kind of target the little bit more tropic species of fish, but of course you can scale this one down and target sea trout and trout in the lakes, or I guess even perch or pike if you make it a little bit bigger. It all depends on sizes and colors and preferences and all that. I just want to show you the technique in a baitfish of this type. I like things simple and modern, and this is no exception. So before we start, if you're new here, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It really does make a difference. Hit the bell so you get notified when I upload new videos, and join the community. Get down in the comments and share this with your friends so we can grow this even bigger and connect with each other. Right, so let's jump down to the hook in my vise here and tie out this baitfish. The hook here in my vise is from Eric's Hooks. It is the that's not true, it is the SA220 in a size 2, so a fairly big hook, and you can see it here is very strong hook. This was designed especially for tropic saltwater. This will not rust, and it's a lot stronger in the wire, so almost unbreakable. If a GT slams this, that might be a little bit different, because they will just demolish everything from what I've seen. Right, so a few techniques will be going on with this one here. Some classic tying and some more modern stuff, and you will see what I mean about that if you watch this video all the way to the end. I wanted to have kind of a hotspot as tail, so I'll be tying in some fluorescent orange hackle here for the tail. Let's get this in. Trim this off. Measure that one out. And then kind of just pluck out what you don't need here, so you have something you can tie onto. Just get my thread back here. So like that. What I like to do is to just tie onto the hackle stem here with a few loose turns, and then pull the feather into where I want it, which is here. So you can see you can kind of pull it and then tighten it down, and that'll help that the feather doesn't turn on you when you tie it in, because they kind of want to do that. Snip that off. You can always secure that with a little bit of UV resin. Not this one. This one here. You can also use super glue, but this will do the same. Secure that. And that is our orange tail done there. Where's my flash? Here it is. Place that. So I kind of want this. This might be a little bit of an expensive fly, because you will be needing 3 different types of feathers. But again, you can of course just do one color and that'll be fine. kind of want this to just have an orange tail. These are actually too big, but don't throw these away. Use them for something else. Let's see if I can find two that are a little bit more pointy. I think these two are a little bit better. Yeah. So and at this point I'm roughly on the middle of the hook, okay? And don't worry about these won't get pulled out. The feathers will break back here before anything. Of course, also depends on what you're targeting with this one. So same thing. That's one side. Snip this off. The other side. A few loose turns. Pull the feather. Like so. And then move up before you tighten that down. There you go. Let me get some flash. I had that laid out. Not a whole lot, just to give it a little bit. Make sure you table them a little bit. These I want to be roughly the same length as the tail here. Flip this back over on itself. Tie that in. And these are too long, so let me just snip these off. And the right length. And when you're happy, just move up to right around this point here. I had some dubbing laid out here. Where did I put that? It's gone. But when thinking about it, I actually don't think I want that dubbing in there. Let's get two more of these. So just move up a little bit, so right around this point here, same thing, get a few loose turns in, pull that feather, and this time a little bit shorter than the previous pair. This will all help to get that taper right. Trim this off to the other side. I'm sorry if I'm turning the fly a little bit here, but kind of hard for me to see. So a little bit shorter, which is here. So just measure that before I turn it back over. See it here, really nice looking tail there. Again, let's get some flash. Tie these in so they are on top but also on the sides, if that makes sense. Get the thread up to this point right around here, a few millimeters from the hook eye. Make a whip finish. Get the thread out of the way. Then for the head of this fly, I want these brown feathers I used the other day. This will really seal the deal, I guess you could say that. So I'm plugging out 3 here. That's 3. One of them is a little bit bigger because I want that one on the top here. Set that aside. So let's measure these ones out. They need to be this long. So snip them and kind of flick them with your fingers like that, and that way you get 2 points. And then put a drop of UV resin on, and that's why I said it's kind of a mix between modern tying and normal tying. I'm not going to say old school because that's not the correct term, I think. So glue the feather on. Whoops, that was a bit fast. Do that again. I just pulled the feather away from the shank before it had a chance to cure correctly. So do that again. And you can see that tail is fluorescent. Let's get the other side. Now for that top one, and that one I want to be the longest feather of them all. So this one I want to go past the orange tips there, which was just right around here. Same thing, snip it off so you have this point. You can even put in a drop of resin right here, just to help it. get a little bit of a thicker head. So put this in on top here. And this is like the best way to make a clean head on your flies. Instead of tying them in front, I like to glue them in. And I just want to start building up a little head here. And I bet you could fish this without eyes even. It might even be a smart idea if you're just targeting GTs or fish that really hit these flies fast and hard. They don't have that much time to think about what they're chasing. So let's put some eyes on this. And I will be giving this fly some red eyes because I think it looks nice too with that orange tail. So just cure that. And this is just to keep the eye in place for starters before I start building up that head. Get another drop on here. That's done. Now all we need to do is to build up a head so these eyes are nice and protected, but also the feathers, of course. So let's start working on that. Just like this. You can work this in a little bit with your dubbing needle. That. I don't know if you saw that, but the feather, as the resin was curing, it kind of lifted itself back up, and that does happen sometimes. Somebody pointed that out in the comments a little while ago. Some UV resins do get hot when you cure them. Some get really hot. I use solar res and that doesn't get that hot. I mean, it does get a little bit warm, but that's just one thing to keep in mind when you're curing something like this. It moves the materials when you cure it. So let's get some glue on the bottom half here. So, and then the rest here. Not the rest, or maybe it's better to call it the finishing touch. Make sure you cover the eyes so they don't get yanked off when casting or when a fish grabs this fly. go. I think that's enough. Just keep that spinning in the vise. And that way you will get a nice round head. Cure that while spinning it really fast. Here we have small baitfish with a kicking tail. A nice head with some red eyes and still enough room here between. That's also one thing to think about. I talked with Neil in my DMs on Instagram today actually, and I mentioned to him that you need to have enough space between the head here and the hook gap, because otherwise you'll have a hard time setting the hook. So always keep that in mind, that you don't close this gap too much. I've seen a few flies, I've done that myself as well, and it's just frustration out on the water. So just keep that in mind. But that is the finished fly here. Kinda easy, but still a very cool fly to have in the box. That is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do consider subscribing to this channel if you like the content. I mean, there's lots of it, so if you're new here, explore some of the music and all that, and the merch, and you know, I kind of have to say it in every video, because I've seen on my analytics that roughly 80% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribers. I guess you find the content anyway. You see Coastfly and you remember the name, but it would make me happy if you subscribe to my channel. So go ahead and do that, and I will see you in the next one.